Hey y'all, what's going on, you lovely people? It's your boy Roliver Queen, and I'm back, and I'm joined by a lovely, scrumptious, special, delicious, and handsome homeboy. AJ, please introduce yourself.
Hey, as always, I'm AJ. Been a long time, so it's good to be back.
Let's get right into it. Gotham War started last month, and we're 3 issues in as of today. Today was Catwoman 57. Let's just start off with just like initial thoughts. So AJ, what are your thoughts on Gotham War before we delve in?
It is the most. I'm I'm trying to be somewhat diplomatic, but it's hard with this event. It has all the subtlety of a bull in a china shop. I think I said that earlier.
Mm,
Today, it is the most base level Twitter Batman discourse that you will ever see. Like that prologue issue with Selena talking about, oh, you could do so much more if you spent your money on social programs and whatnot for Gotham. And he's like, well, I already do that. Then she was talking about, well, we'll rob from the rich. And he was like, she's like, some crime is okay. And then Bruce is like, my parents were rich. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's like the most ham-fisted. It's not good, folks, at all. That first issue, I thought there were some points, with that issue that both of them clearly co-wrote. I thought Zdarsky was doing okay. It's a step down from his Batman run, but I thought, I'm like, all right, you got to work with somebody else. I can understand how that can kind of cramp up styles of both people. How Howard as well, because I've been hard on Howard, with Catwoman stuff, but I
mhm.
have liked other things she's done in the past. So, maybe she just doesn't mesh with Selena well. Who knows? Yeah, it is not it. It's gotten worse. Like I've read the first 3 issues. I might
Mhm.
be ready to drop off. I don't know if I'll just let the last few come out, then I read it all at once. I don't know, but this is the closest I've come to just saying, you know what, I'm just ready to drop the Batman line. And that's something I don't do. There have been like bad runs and I just stuck it out. Even when I wasn't reading comics that much, I would
Mhm.
stick it out with at least getting Batman. I am kind of fed up.
My whole thing with the event is I've read the 3 issues, and all it feels like a fever dream to me. It's such a drastic step away from Zdarsky and the little I know of Howard. Because I had my issues with Zdarsky's run, but it was still readable. Like
Right, exactly.
it's something I could tune into. I don't know. Just once we hit Gotham, where it's just like it's drastically different. I would assume Zdarsky and Howard would have a grasp on these characters because they've been working with them for a while. But it just seems like that's just thrown out of the window. And we've been hearing rumblings of editorial interference, which is nobody's surprise. And I think
Mhm.
that's what a lot of this is.
There's always going to be editorial interference with Batman.
Yeah,
He's there,
it makes sense because Batman is their baby. Batman is their
right?
bread and butter. But
Some people can navigate it better than others. It's not happening right now.
it's not happening here. And then we had the whole issue, like I think what it was like a month or two ago when Homeboy put out that tweet where he was trying to get people to dogpile on Howard.
Yeah,
And even
yeah, saying
from
that the
then,
issue was late. Like, yeah, that
yeah,
was,
bro, something is happening upstairs in that office,
yeah,
and it's clearly affected. I think this is probably one of the worst instances of it because at least with King, they let King go on unbothered for a little bit before they were poking their hands around. They
hmm,
let Tynan go around unbothered before they started poking their heads around. And here it's just like right off the gate, like a year in, and they're already starting, and it's weird, it's bizarre. I don't know. I don't feel Chip or Howard here.
yeah.
I don't feel it at all.
Howard wrote a really, really, really good Excalibur run in the beginning of that Krakoa phase.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like dog, like her voice with Apocalypse, her voice with Rogue and Gambit, it was really good. So I've been somebody like I've never really been someone who has understood the vitriol that some corners of comics readership has had for her.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten to this point with Catwoman now where it's like even in the beginning it was like, okay, she's doing a self-insert, she's writing fan fiction, but it wasn't ever just unbearable. Like
Yeah, it was
now
still,
these
it was readable.
yeah, like these last few weeks, I don't know what's going on. And that's the other thing. So this isn't really a month to month thing. It's like we got something pretty much every week, since I guess that's how they set the event up. So you're nothing's really getting any time to breathe.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
we
know if
had a
that would
little
help
bit
it.
of a break between Batman and Catwoman, but I think that's about it.
Did it? Wasn't Batman? Damn.
No,
It
we
might
didn't
have
even,
been a
we
week.
had
I
nothing
thought it
last
was just
week.
last week.
No, we had a week
Okay.
off.
Okay. So yeah, it's just I don't know. Like I'm hoping, with something going on behind the scenes. We know Vandal Savage is involved. Maybe, it's all gonna be a big twist at the end. I don't think so at this point. It doesn't seem like it. All I really want from this event, and maybe it's pointing this way, is hey man, give Bruce his money back. It seems like they may be starting to turn towards that. It's not going to save the event, but that's been one of my gripes with the direction of Batman for the past couple years now. But you know, I really don't know. I'm not going to say it wasn't necessary, because I understand the reasoning behind doing an event, right? You want to
Yeah.
boost up sales, especially going into the last quarter of the year. You want your sales to be strong. I probably wouldn't have done it so soon after Shadow War, and you
I
can,
wouldn't even have done it right after fucking Night Terrors.
yeah, yeah, that too.
That's just a week
Um,
after, bro.
yeah,
No, actually, no. When
yeah,
Night
it was a
Terrors
week. It was
ended,
the next week. No, you're
yeah,
right. It
the
ended.
same day.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't think it was meant like that. That feels like a mix up. We talk about editorial. That feels like, hey, this was supposed to come maybe like a month or so later, and they
Hmm.
decided, hey, let's put it out now. I don't know, because the Dawn of DC books. I know, like I said, I know. I'm saying they want to juice sales and have sales looking strong, but DC's performing the best they have in a while now, probably
Yeah,
like at least a year.
they're
So
almost all the books that they put out, minus some Hot Girl.
yeah,
They're
like
doing pretty well.
that's the 1 week one. Like she debuted in like the 40s, I think, but everything else has
They're
been like
fine.
really high.
I think it's time for a shakeup, and I'm not just talking just writers. I'm talking like the whole office. It needs a shakeup,
Mhm.
because now this is a repeating pattern where we're hearing about editorial. It's obviously affecting the books. I can't see a scenario where things are going on like this and it's not going to implode on itself. And I'm already worried because we know Ram V is not staying on detective. Let's even delve into that a little bit. Like, something weird is happening when you don't have Nightwing tying into it, you don't have Detective tying into it, you don't have all the other regular bat books tying into it. Something's going on. Either Taylor was just like, fuck this, Ram V was like, fuck this, and everybody else was like, fuck this, now let's keep it to Batman and Catwoman. Or my other thing is maybe this entire story is just going on in Batman's head, and like this is boom, it was just all a dream. That's the only way I can see, because ain't no way they sat down and said, yo, let's write everybody out of character. Let's write the most basic writing for Twitter story. This gotta be a bad troll, bro. This
Like
gotta be a
I would
bad
be
troll.
fine. I would be fine with that, because we know the stuff that's going on with Zerina and all of that. Like that, like I'd be like, okay, that's fine. We know Bruce's head is being messed with. You don't need to make an event out of that, bro. You just tell that within the confines of the story that Chip's already telling. He's been laying those seeds for over a year now. Like you don't have to go and do, like I said, do an event out of it. Because that's another book, Batman and Robin. They gave a little slight mention of Bruce and Catwoman having a fight, but other than
Get
that, that book isn't touching on it either. But
Yeah.
yeah, but see the problem with the Bat editorial, I've always said, they had, first off, we talk about too many cooks in the kitchen with the writing. They have, I know it's at least two editors in the office. I
I think
maybe
Ben Abernathy, I think that's his name, and
yeah,
there's
yeah,
somebody else.
Abernathy and
Yeah.
I want to say Jessica Chen.
Oh
Um
yeah, that's right.
and I've always said, and don't you know, I understand, DC does a lot of books, their editorial staff isn't as big as it used to be, fine, but it's been for a while now. The certain books have felt in the Bat office have felt, you know, completely a different type of tone than what the mainline bat books are trying to do. Like, because we did get something with Batgirls today, I'll just say I vastly prefer that direction today than to what had been going on before. So
Mhm.
if that's what they're going to do with Batgirls going forward, yeah, right on. But because you can't tell me that last book felt like anything else coming out of the Batman offices.
No, I
Doesn't feel
mean
like
the only thing, the only tether it had to it was that it spun out of Fear State. That's it.
right, right. Like it obviously didn't feel like Batman. It didn't feel like Nightwing. Didn't like Tim Drake. That book was bad, but it at times felt like a Batman. It was within the Batman family of books. You know, Nightwing has been dragging its feet forever, but it's mainly in that style. You know, Catwoman's been a little off at times, but I think, like I said, I think that's more towards Howard and the
Yeah.
bit of self-insertness going on. Detective has,
Detective's his own thing, bro. Like,
yeah, it's felt like a Bat book, but at the same time, like you say, yeah, it's not really trying to mesh with what the main titles got going on. It seems like you got competing styles going on over there.
yeah.
The one other that doesn't feel like a Bat book, which I mean, it's the Batman characters, but they're not Bat family. Poison
What's that
Ivy.
book? The
It's felt different, but I mean, come on, it's G Willow Wilson on the pen. Like I said, that Batgirl's back up. That might be them trying to clear the direction up, because that's been one of the biggest baffling things to me. Like, is not having a Batgirl book on the stand. Whoever's going to be a Batgirl,
yo,
you know, that's a huge blunder. I don't see how you don't have a Red Hood, but we know something's happening with Red Hood. But
yeah,
it seems like something has been happening with Red Hood for the past year and a half now.
yeah.
I don't
I think
understand.
with Red Hood, Martin Burroughs been fucking teasing that book for like almost what I feel like is 2 years now.
Right.
Like, I feel like either DC is holding their feet with it, or whatever he's gonna be doing is gonna spin out of Gotham War.
Okay.
And I hope, I really hope that it's something that's gonna set Red Hood on a definitive path, because I think that's my biggest issue with Gotham War. It's just like Red Hood has gone through a resurgence. Like, everything after what's his name, Scott Lobdell, it's
Hmm.
been Red Hood in the right direction.
Yeah.
Chip had that great, mini with him and Batman
Mhm.
reconciling, the Smile story. Then after that, we had Task Force Z, and then
Yep.
and then I think Taylor did some good work with him and his annual. So like Red Hood was in the right direction, and then Gotham War just put him back like 5 steps. So I
Mhm.
hope with a good writer, this will be the moment where, okay, this is where Red Hood is. This is where he's going to be moving forward, because right now Red Hood is arguably the Bat character that's in the worst shape. As much as I hate Nightwing, what's happening with Nightwing right now, he's in a much better state than when he was, a couple years ago. But I
Mhm.
think Red Hood, out of everybody, needs to shake up. Like, he needs a definitive path, because we can't keep doing this. And Batman and Catwoman, they fine. Batman has the best luxury ever. We can shit talk about Batman as much as we want, but Batman is always going to sell. It may slip. It may not be number one, number two, but it will always be in the top 50 percentile. But all the other characters, besides Nightwing now, they don't have that privilege. They don't.
Right.
So we need to get Red Hood in that spot. Catwoman, I don't know if Catwoman has ever been in that top spot. I haven't been reading comic books that long, but I think she's fine. I think the Robins are fine, but I think Red Hood is the one that needs the help.
The ones I'll add with Red Hood, and that's why I go back to, editorial in that Bat office, not one knowing what they want to do. Outsiders, that was the big
Yeah.
hubbub earlier this year, and I'm, I'll fully say, hey, I'm not a fan of what they seem to be doing. I went back and reread through all of that stuff. They were sowing seeds of stuff that was clearly they had planned to do a book with them. I don't know whether it was going to be a mini, like how this new Outsiders run is going to be or what. But you have Hill's run, then you get into the stuff with Urban Legends, and they have like 3 separate stories they set up, and at
Mm-hmm.
the end of each of them, it's Outsiders will return. Like the first one where hey, Outsiders will return this fall. Then you had, like I say, like you said, Fear State. Um, and then the Duke one, I can't remember if they did in the Duke one, because I've got that one in trade. I need to find my
It was just
floppies.
the end. They just ended it.
Okay. So yeah, so you've been setting stuff up. So between Hill was like right around between his detective run, his Outsiders, and his annual. That's like 2 years worth of work.
Mm-hmm.
Then I want to say we had another 12 to it might have been like 16 issues with Urban Legends.
Mm-hmm.
So basically you're talking right around 4 years worth of work. And you're gonna throw all of that away. I love Luke. I love Kate. They need to
Mm-hmm.
be in more stuff. That just seems so out of left field, especially when
Yeah.
you had already we're setting up a Duke and Vixen storyline back in the Black History special. Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
that's a book that was supposed to be coming out. So I don't know. But now they're teasing this book with these mishmash of black characters just put together because they're black. And now it looks like it's David as opposed to Luke. So it's like, all right, it's like the left hand isn't telling the right hand what it's doing. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see where things go. But like I said, stuff just feels disorganized at the moment, and it
Yeah.
shouldn't because they're on such a high streak with Dawn and DC.
Exactly. To circle back on the Outsiders thing, I really think Lansing and Kelly, I like them. I think they're
I
both
do
very
too.
solid
They're a
writers.
good team.
I think
It's
they
just,
shot themselves in the foot. You know
yes.
why? Because
Well, go ahead. You say and then I'll give you my theory.
I think we're gonna land on the same spot. I think we're gonna land on the same spot because remember when we first got the news of the Outsiders? It was I think it was either San Diego. It was San Diego Comic-Con
Yeah.
where we got the news, and then the first thing that came out their mouths was this ain't gonna be who's gonna be in the book and who's not. They said it's not gonna be that type
Don't
of
ask
story.
us about these characters because they're
Yo,
not in.
the
Bruh,
the
yes.
next fucking week. Oh, you never know who's gonna pop up. Blah blah blah.
Bruh.
Blah. I'm like,
And I'm like,
okay,
no, keep
you
that same
keep
energy.
that same fucking energy.
Y'all gave an interview like y'all were feeling yourselves. Oh, don't ask us about this character because they ain't in it. But then when you need them pre-order numbers to hit, it's we don't know who could be up in the book. Nah, bro. Keep that same energy, my nigga.
That same
I'm giving
energy,
y'all
bro.
the first issue. Like I normally give a book 3 issues before I decide whether or not I'm gonna stick with it. I'm giving y'all 1 issue. If y'all don't grab me, hey, I'm sorry for it. I might check y'all out in trade later on. But nah, yeah, they definitely shot themselves in the foot with that.
Because at that point you just should have said, "Yo, we doing something new with the Outsiders. Stay tuned." That's it.
That's all you had to do.
That's all you had to do. But once they opened their mouths further, I was like, all right, now I was defending y'all. Now I see why people can be mad. Because at this point, I read the solicits for like the issue 3. They're definitely gonna be doing some bouncing around. They're doing challenge the new challengers of something. I forgot what the fuck they call it. Right. They're doing something there. I think they're just gonna be grabbing different parts of like the DC lore that might have been left behind from Death Metal, Dark Crisis, and all that stuff. But I guarantee you, bro, we're gonna see the OG Outsiders crew in some way, shape, or form. They're gonna pull from that because
when them numbers ain't hitting the way they thought they were, that's when you're gonna see it pop up.
I mean, they got 12 issues. They got 12 issues to figure it out.
And that's another thing I'm saying. That is smart, making this a mini. Because I said, ooh, buddy. Because I saw they had Dan Moore on the covers. I'm like, yeah, y'all gonna need him on every issue to try to boost the numbers. Y'all need to get him on interiors because I said y'all already got a strike against y'all with this whole new team. And then the energy that y'all came out with when folks realized it wasn't the team that they wanted, and that DC had been teasing for the past few years. I'm like, all right, so yeah, we'll see how it goes.
We'll definitely see how it goes. So, yeah, like I said, man, but again, I think all of that is a result of them not having their ducks in order upstairs. Because I'll tell you right now, Gotham War is halfway over. I don't see how Luke and Kate are gonna tie into this. I don't see it.
I don't think they are at all. I think there was that panel in when they're all in the nightclub. I know Kate was there. See, I can't even remember. I think Luke
was there. Kate was there. Luke wasn't there.
Next door? Okay. See, I think that's going to be the thing. I think afterwards, after this all ends, the family's going to go their separate ways because you got some people mad at Bruce and some people just don't want to be involved with either one of them. So pretty much everybody's going to go their separate ways, and that's how. Oh, hey, let's do an Outsiders team. Like, really? All right, cool, whatever. Yeah. I really think that's how it's just going to end up.
Yeah, but even then, like that premise is so fucking shaky. It's so shaky because even from Jump Street, like how an event is supposed to work. It's just like, if you're telling me you're going to spin out a book right now, you need to be planting the seeds from at least issue 1, if not the alpha omega issues, then at least like the main issues. I should be seeing seeds of Luke and I should be seeing seeds of Kate. I don't see that. So I'm thinking, and again, anything could happen between now and the end of Gotham War. I'm thinking they just threw that out there so people could say, oh, he's going to spin out of Gotham War. Maybe we need to read Gotham War. I think that was maybe another tactic for them to try to juice up the sales there and try to juice up the sales for outsiders. Also, speaking about tactics, let's talk about what your boy Jimenez has been saying online, because him trying to promote that book sounds kind of like, hey, bro, help us out.
You just had, what was that, Night Terrors, and I mean, people have event fatigue, right? And Night Terrors ended up being a whole hell of a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and you can tell it's clearly going to be important going forward because with the stuff Waller is setting up. So it's like, okay, it is actually going to matter in the scheme of things, right? Great, fine, cool. Some people are wrong about it, what it was going to be. That's all that is great. You don't start another event when that's ending, dog.
This is a problem I'm having. It's not just with DC. I'm also having it with, Boom and Power Rangers, and just all across the board. This isn't an event. This is a crossover. If you told me there was going to be a Batman and Catwoman crossover, I would be fine. I think that's okay. Wording is important, but the moment you put event on it, people are it changes the whole landscape, because this is exactly what this is. This is just a crossover. But I think somewhere down the line, probably because of COVID, they got scared of the word crossover, and then now the word is just event, and that's a mistake. That's a big mistake.
Yeah, because this is like, what is this, like 6 or so issues, probably maybe a little more.
Yeah, and let me tell you, if this was an event, let me tell you exactly what that checklist would have looked like. Nightwing issue, blah blah blah, tie-in. Detective Comics issue, blah blah blah, tie-in. What's that other book that's out there? The Urban Legends relaunch. What the fuck you call it? Brave and Bold. Brave and Bold issue, blah 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 blah, tie-in.
Oh shit, you can maybe forget. Batman Incorporated. Where is that during all of this?
Oh, Batman Incorporated is done, my brother, as of last week. Done. Finito.
Okay. Well, that explains that.
You would have had that tie-in. Then you would have sold me on this being an event. This checklist already tells me everything I need to know. This is just a crossover that you are boosting as an event for sales. Bro, this is how you know this is some bullshit. There is no way a Batman book is not in the top 5. That Batman Catwoman one shot, that shit is 30. Which is not bad for a Batman because it's still in the top 50 percentile. But knowing Batman and where it's typically at, come on, brother, you already in trouble.
I think it's two factors for that. One, like I said, event fatigue, and doing it right after this was a mistake. And two, a lot of people, once they found out Howard was the co-writer of this, they kind of checked out. I mean, I hate to say it because, like I said, I've liked some stuff she's done before. I've defended her from some of the stuff when that Catwoman run first started, even though it wasn't for me. But I think once they saw she was the co-writer, they were like, you know what? Nah, I'm out. I'll take a couple months off, or hey, I'll read the Batman half of it, But yeah, I don't think this was something that people just decided to rush out and get. And, that proves it.
To wrap up, man. So the Gotham War, it's a little shaky, and again, it's showing that the office up there, they need to get this shit in order. We'll be keeping tabs on what's happening here. But right now, it doesn't instill me with confidence. I'm 100% sure at this point, once Gotham War is done, I'm checking out of Batman 100%. That's it for me. I'm buying everything on floppy because it's great for my shop. Regardless of how it turns out, I got to take a step back. Man. And it sucks. This may be editorial involvement, but again, I think it's a bigger issue than that. They just need to get their ducks in order. Sucks for Chip. I love Chip. How long was that Daredevil run? 2019 to 2023? I don't brought God knows how many issues supporting Chip. I think I'll be fine. I'm good. I'm all right. But yeah, AJ, this was a pleasure. Thank you guys to check out the content. If you enjoy, please be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And also, I'm just going to go ahead and slide in AJ's Twitter right here. So please go ahead and support that as well. Be sure to get a good look at that. Much love, much peace, y'all. It's your boy, Roliver Queen, and we are out.